Okay. I think we are good, right? I think we're like live now, I think. Yeah. Who is this? Oh. Oh my god. Okay. Okay. Okay, guys, what's up? I'm back with another live stream. This will be sort of a quick one. It's for my Discord server. You guys can hear me, right? Yeah. So basically today we are going to I don't know how to say this without saying so freaking dumb, dude. So basically Marcus decided that he thought that my comments about Alfur was enough. So he decided to spend like the next couple of weeks or something creating a fan fiction, a Ray X Alfur fan fiction. And I'm not even lying about that. Let me just pull it up here. Let me yeah. This is serious. Okay. Maybe I gotta. Okay. Oh, wait, shit. Hold on. Okay, thank God. Nothing actually showed up. I need to connect my second monitor for this, or else I'm gonna just show a bunch of shit. Where's my graphics card? My graphics card. Okay. Connect, you stupid thing. My stupid TV. Okay. Let me go dark for a minute. Streaming soon. Okay, yeah. Okay. Hopefully I didn't show anything sensitive. Okay, I'll be doing it in a minute, guys. Just give me a second, okay? I gotta prepare for stuff. Make sure everything is working as it's supposed to. Nope. Okay, hold on. Okay, give me a second, guys. I'm just reviewing some stuff here. Because I don't want to, like, dox myself or anything like that. No, we're good. Okay. Give me a second, guys. I just need to get some stuff. Oh. No. Wait. No. Okay. This might be a bit of a problem. We might have a bit of a pickle. Yes, finally. Okay. Okay. Put this aside. All right. So, we are going to read this. Oh my god. Okay. First of all, it was not my idea to have this. It was not my idea to have this fanfiction whatsoever. I'm just letting you guys know. this is completely on Marcus. This is all Marcus's idea. Okay? This is Marcus's idea, I swear. It was not me. I did not suggest this. He said that if I were to stop hold on. He told me that if I were to stop simping for Alfur or something like that, that he would that he would make this fan fiction for me. So that's exactly what we're going to do. Oh, so unfortunately, I cannot show my webcam because my webcam broke. I do not have a webcam as of right now, so okay. Let's just go ahead and read this. Okay. So first thing that has me kind of, or actually really concerned, is that it says mature on here. What do you mean by that, Marcus? What do you mean mature? Am I going to get in trouble for streaming this on YouTube? God, I hope not. I don't want to be banned. Okay. Is the stream working for you guys? Is it buffering or anything? It's giving me errors. I don't know. I don't know if you guys are able to like hear everything I'm saying, stuff like that. No. What do you mean no? You can't hear anything that. Okay, stream is okay right now. Okay. Okay, we're good. Okay. I mean, this caption is already putting me to my misery. It says, Rey and Alfur's friendship begins to change when Rey admits his feelings towards Alfur with uncertain circumstances, a better ex, and magical transformation. Can an elf and a boy really be together? Jesus Christ, dude, this is gonna be a mess. I don't want to read this, but I don't want to read this. But I kind of have to, because I promise I stream it on the Discord chat. Okay. Let me just turn this off for a minute. Okay. Alright. First of all, this fanfic was written so that Rey would stop simping for Alfur all the time. It makes me very sad. Oh, it's so very sad. Secondly, I've never written something like this before, so excuse me if it's not amazing. Okay. Also, instead of living with Hilda and Joanna, Alfur lives with Rey instead. Oh my god, okay. Are we really doing this? Okay. Okay, let's do this. Oh my god, okay. Chapter 1, The Confession. It's like any other Sunday. It's lazy and quiet. People are relaxing or doing their homework for school. But a certain elf is hard at work. Alfur is once again doing his paperwork, signing contracts and filing reports. But something's off. Maybe he's just tired. He has been working for hours non-stop after all, but that's not it. This is something he's frustrated. Rey, who's been grinding the sticks on Fortnite all day long, finally notices Alfur's distress. Oh my god. Alfur, is everything alright? He asked in a weary tone, seeing how the elf is sloppily rushing his home paperwork. Uh-oh? Alfur snaps out of his work process. Yes, everything's fantastic. Rey raises his eyebrow in suspicion, making Alfur nervous and confess. Okay, it's just, well, I feel like I've been here forever, and while I've made progress on my work, he hesitates. I want more. I want to be with somebody. He finally explains as Rey's eyes light up. Butterflies fill Ray's stomach as Alfred continues to explain. I don't want to be alone for the rest of my life. I want to meet somebody who can fall in love with. This is fucking. Wait. Is this from Whitney Houston's song? Oh my god. I want to meet with somebody. My god. Somebody who I could start a family with. Ray realizes that his one and only opportunity to confess his true feelings towards Alfur ever since they met. Ray had always seen Alfur as more than just a friend. He trusted him with his whole life and wanted to get closer to him, as well as his rocking bod. What the hell is going on? Ray cuts off Alfur mid-sentence. Alfur, I like you. Alfur has no response. Oh my god. Chapter 2. The Elf Way. The silence is almost ear-piercing. The only thing that can be heard is the faint ticking of Alfred's pocket watch. Ray realizes that he's made a mistake. I mean, never mind. I don't know what I was thinking. He explains before being cut off by Alfur. You like me? Well, a little. Ray responds shyly. Alfur feels how his perspective on Ray starts to change, and then his perspective on everything actually. All the times that Ray had been there for him, supported him, how he helped Alfred settle into the city after all those years ago, how they shared life advice to one another late at night. That incident with the pineapple? The pineapple? What? What? Wait, what pineapple? With the pineapple they swore to never discuss. What the hell? What the fuck? What? No, this is crazy. This is fucking crazy. All these experiences were ones he once had with a friend. But with Ray's confession, Alfred knew this was much more than a friendship. I like you too, Alfred finally responds. His heart racing with excitement and anxiousness. Hearing those words made Ray's heart skip a beat. A goofy smile grew on his face. He was over the moon, as was Alfur. Oh, Alfur, this is so wonderful. You have no idea how long I've been meaning to tell you. Oh my god. Oh my god. Ray shouts in joy as Alfur spectates, blushing like an idiot. I know stuff like this isn't common between elves and humans and such, but I'm sure we can make it work. Ray explains while nonchalantly pointing out the possible roadblock in their relationship. Totally. Oh my god. But his words make the elf nervous. It doesn't take long for Ray to notice. What's wrong? Well, you're right. Relationships like these are quite uncommon between elves and other species. I know certain contrasts exist that could permit a relationship. Alfred explains in a worried yet hopeful tone. That's great. I guess we should probably sign those as soon as possible. Ray says Alfred before Alfred continues. Jesus Christ, I don't want to keep doing this anymore. Oh my god. I can't take it. I can't take it anymore, guys. I really cannot do this. This is 6,000 words. Jesus. Okay. Okay. The only problem is that they are extremely old and possibly outdated. Even if any forms remain intact, they would only be located somewhere that's filled with rich elf culture. My best guess is that they may be at the Royal Elven Archives. Aldrich's words bring Ray a feeling of doubt. His optimism has been clouded by fear and uncertainty. But if there's a possibility that these forms do exist, they have to find them no matter what. Alfur, I've been holding back these feelings for so long just because I was scared how you'd react. Ray begins. But now that I know that you reciprocate the same feelings, we can't let some dusty old files get in the way of what we have. I promise you, we'll find those forms and sign them like we've never signed before. And when we do, it'll be awesome and super romantic. And we could finally. Ray pauses, realizing he's started to get off track with what's actually important right now. But his words of encouragement work. Alfur might have been slightly offended at the dusty old files remark. But aside from that, Ray was right. He wasn't going to let the possibility of outdated paperwork to stop him with being with the man he loves. Alfred wasn't ready to say it. Oh my god, this is so bad. Oh my god. Alfred wasn't ready to say it, nor even admit to himself, but he knew he loved Ray, and that was more than enough to give him the push. You're right, you're absolutely right, Alfred excitedly replied, making Ray gain more confidence and slightly blush. Oh no. Okay. The Royal Elven Archives are all the way back home in the northern county where I used to live. It'll be strange to go back there, but maybe not so much with you with me. Alfred looks to Ray with a smile on his face. Then we have no time to waste. Come on, let's go find those forms, Ray quickly responds, already packing his things for the trip. Alfred soon after doing the same. They both shared the same feeling of excitement and joy, and that fuzzy feeling that neither of them ready to admit to each other just yet. Oh my god. This sucks ass. Delete yourself. Jesus, this is so bad. This is just, it's not even funny. It's just it's just so cringe. Okay. Chapter 3, Down in the Archives. It's been almost 3 hours without a car or driver's license. It's hard to get anywhere outside the city walls. And riding on Cedric is out of the question for obvious reasons. But no worries. As they finally reach their destination. I can't believe it. So much has changed. Alfred admires his old home. While Ray can't even make out if there's a difference. Maybe there's a new couple houses? Who cares? So where are those archives exactly? Ray questions Alfred, not noticing any sort of building that would fit such description in the nearby area. That's the thing. Elves of the past knew that some things were far too valuable to leave lying around in the open, so they built the archives deep into the nearby hill. Alfur responds by admiring the cleverness of the archive's architects and other brilliant minds. Wait, so how am I supposed to find anything if it's a tiny building inside of a hill? Ray asks Alfur in a confused tone. Well, because elves value so many things. The archives had to be pretty massive and not standing high, but you'll definitely be able to crawl around in there, don't worry. Oh my god. Alfur responds with a cheeky grin on his face. Rey isn't exactly pleased at the thought of having him crawl around in some hallways. But it was his only option. After walking for a while, after and Rey finally gets to the archives, built into the hill like Alfur said, the elf also wasn't lying when he said that this thing was royal. Marble pillars and rounded turquoise roofs glided in golden detail. Even from the outside, the archives were truly a memorizing set of structures, all carved into the hillside. Hello, I'll need access to the basement levels of the archives, please. Alfred tells the seemingly miserable work at the front desk. Relatable. Relatable. I'm afraid only those with a high enough clearance are allowed into the basement archives. It's the law or something, says the desk worker in a flat tone. Alfur and Rey begin to doubt if they can find these forms, if they even exist, until a familiar voice is heard from the distance. Alfur? Is that you? The voice asks before finally stepping to view. Adeline? Alfur finally realizes. Oh, it's so great to see you again. Hey, wait, isn't this supposed to be about me and Alfur? What the hell? Don't stop including Adeline to this, okay? Stop. No more. This is a Rey x Alfur fan fiction. Oh my god. Okay. Adeline, keeper of the notes of the delegation for the return of wayward elves, who has been a long-time fan of Alfur and his recent co-author, is surprised at their visit. What are you guys doing here? We're here to find some forms from the basement, actually, but somebody won't let us in due to low clearance, Alfur responds in a mocking tone. Oh, well, I can't let you in. Being a member of the delegation comes with all sorts perks, Adeline excitedly explains before informing the desk worker and giving them a chance to enter. God. Listen, we love to chat, but we're in a bit of a hurry, Rey chimes in. Oh yeah, Rey has also been here the entire time. In a crawling position with his waist at the front doors, leaving the public a view that could probably be considered as public indecency. He crawls fully into the building, into the basement archives, Alfur soon following after him. Jesus. Wait, what are you guys looking for, if you don't mind me asking? Adeline asks Alfur. Well, actually, Alfur begins to explain what had happened earlier that same day. How he and Rey liked each other and how they were now. In hopes to find those old documents. After the explanation, the elf quickly slips away into the archive basement to find Rey and the documents, leaving behind a speechless Adeline. Poor Adeline. Get dumped for a fucking guy with a 20-year-old beard. Okay. Jesus, this is so stupid. Oh my god, dude. This is so bad. Okay. Well, it's not that bad in this chapter so far. It's not that bad. I mean, it's something for sure. Yeah. Okay. What Aldrich just said couldn't have been true. It had to be some sort of joke, right? A human and an elf together? Really? The shocked expression on her face wasn't one of joy or happiness for Fred, but confusion and uncertainty. Alfred quickly catches up to Rey, who is struggling to crawl inside the still cramped elven hallways. Of course, this gives Alfred the perfect view of Rey's... I'm not writing this. What? What do you mean by this? What do you mean by this, Marcus? Alfur gives a perfect view of my what? 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 What do you mean by this? What do you mean by... What do you mean... what do you mean by this? My balls. Jesus. What the fuck? My cheeks? What? What the hell is wrong with you, Marcus? Jeez, I regret this so much. I regret ever asking for this or wanting this. I regret it. I regret it so fucking much, dude. No, no, no. You cannot say gyat. I do not have it like that. What the hell is wrong with you guys? What is wrong with you guys? I do not have a gyat. Oh my god. Okay. Alright. So the documents should be here somewhere, right? Rey asked nervously, already regretting crawling into the archive's dark and cramped basement. They should. Let's split up. It'll be easier that way. Just try to look for anything that hasn't been found in ages. Alfur suggests before heading into a different direction from Rey. Oh my god. So Rey does as Alfur asked him. He starts looking for old paperwork, finding all sorts of different and strange documents and forms. He finds a permit to sell wood. There's a salmon doodle in the corner of the document, and another permit to be allowed to say the phrase wait for it, legendary. No wonder no one's touched these for years. Searching around, he finds even more strange stuff in a attempt to make Star vs. Season 5. A denied copy of the dictionary, which included words such as Riz, Sigma, and a show Bible for some show called Hilda. It seemed pretty bad. Jesus. When are we getting Star vs. Season 5? The world may never know. Anyway, meanwhile, Alfur wasn't faring much better. He had also only found more pointless crap like middle school essays, a form to become immortal, and a singular piece of paper with someone's computer password written on it. PASWORD. Real clever. Eventually, he stumbles across something. A box full of paperwork related to relationships. If the form was in the archives, then it had to be in this box. Forms and letters and documents and whatever else. The elf doesn't find anything. Nothing related to elves and humans, at least. There's documents for elves and other elves. Elves and other elves from different counties. Even ones with elves and birds. Reminds me of that one thing that that I put in the Hilda YouTube poop like a couple years ago. It was like, you can make friends with elves and elves. Something like that. Yeah. Okay. But nothing that Alfur was actually searching for. In that moment, his worst fears had set in. Oh shit, what the hell? Even if he loved Rey, they could never be together. He couldn't just abandon his old life and beliefs like that, could he? Maybe there's a loophole, a mistake, something, anything. Anything at all that could fix this. Alfur's existential crisis is rudely interrupted by a loud noise, not far away. Maybe it's Rey. Maybe he found something. Or maybe he just hit his head against the light. Either way, Alfur decides to go and check it out. The closer he got to the origin of the noise, the more tension it grew. It was as if somebody was following him. The ancient and dim flashing light bulbs weren't even helping either. He slowly steps forward before realizing what the eerie feeling of being followed was. It was Rey. You scared me. Why didn't you say anything? Alfur asked, gasping for air. I didn't want to scare you, Rey replies. Wait, if you were following me, then didn't you make this noise? Didn't make this noise, did you? Alfur then asks. No, but I think that was it. It was that. Rey points behind Alfur to a box, lying upside down on the floor. Picking up the box, Aldrich immediately notices a document. The document. He hastily rummages through other papers, only focus on the form they had been searching for. But before he can even say anything, his heart sinks. It was the document. One for a relationship between an elf and a human, but it had been destroyed, scribbled all over, torn and ripped, and it was also wet for some reason. Okay. Alfred couldn't bear to tell Rey the news, but when he turned around to look at him, he could see from his face that Rey already knew what had happened. They stand there in silence for a few minutes, but it feels like a painful eternity. So what are we gonna do now? Rey wonders as he looks at the tiny ruined document in Alfred's hands, or stick arms things. I don't know. It's just so unfair. There were all sorts of documents and files in this basement, things that barely mattered. And yet, this is the only thing that's destroyed? Alfred begins to rant, letting out all his frustration and anger. I found comics and drawings and so much meaningless crap that was all in perfectly fine condition, and yet this isn't? I even found relationship documents for elves and other non-beings. Alfred stops, a new thought brewing in his tiny elf brain. He quickly comes to a realization. Wait, Rey, I think I know how we can still do this. Are you serious? How? Rey can't bear to not know what Alfred is thinking. We just need some documents from this place and then some magic. Alfred responds, fully confident that it'll work, because if it doesn't, there's nothing left. My god. Hours later, someone comes to lock up the basement before stumbling upon the fallen box and the ruined document left by Rey and Alfur. It didn't work. No worries though. I know where they're headed. I didn't intend to stop them. The mysterious voice monologues before throwing away the document. An elf and a human. How ridiculous. Once I stop Rey and get him out of the picture, there'll be nothing standing in the way of me and Alfur. Adeline and Alfur together. Jesus. Okay. Oh my god. I don't want to read this, dude. I genuinely do not want to keep reading this. Oh my god. How many chapters are there in this fucking thing? Let me check. I don't want to read any more of this. No, I didn't complete it yet. No. Okay. Okay. Oh, okay. There's only like 2 more that I have to do. Jesus, man. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this, Marcus. I don't want to do this. Oh my god. Oh my god. Fine, okay. Okay, fine, I'll fucking do it. But I really do not want to. Jesus. You know what? After this, Marcus might actually convince me to stop simping for Alfred, because this is just the worst thing I've ever read in my entire life. Okay. Chapter 4, A Second Chance. The sun is beginning to set as Rey and Alfur walk back to the city in a steady pace, their hearts racing with excitement and uneasiness. Alfur sits on Rey's shoulder, going over the gathered paperwork from the archives, making sure that they have everything they need. So, how are we going to get this to work exactly? Why do we need magic? Asked Rey, still confused and uncertain about Alfur's plan. The elf is hesitant to reply. realizing in the moment that his plan might not have been as foolproof as he had thought. Oh my god. Rey, after this, ban everyone and delete the server. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm gonna do after this. Okay. Well, since the paperwork we were looking for was ruined and all, that was left were other relationship agreements. I realized that we could still sign a form and be together if you aren't human. Alfur's voice gets quieter as he continues, truly realizing how bad this sounds. What? Rey exclaims in shock, freezing in place and directing his full attention to Alfur. What do you mean if I'm not human? Well, I have documents for a relationship between two male elves. It didn't say about magic being prohibited. Alfur tries to explain himself, trying to convince Rey that this is a good idea. If we could find a way to transform you into an elf, then everything would be great. We could sign the paperwork and be together. Rey can't believe what Alfur is telling him. The only way to be together is for Rey to become an elf himself. That's not right. I'm sorry, but I don't know if I can go through with this, Rey admits. Why do I have to become an elf? Why can't you become human? You're always complaining about how hard it is to get around the city. The conversation turns into an argument. The setting sun's usually beautiful and romantic pink tones feel more like the angry, intense reds covering their faces. But there is no paperwork for humans. Nothing like that, at least. Alfur tries to explain himself. I can't just go and abandon the ways of my people. This actually means something to me. Hey, this means something to me too. But you can't just tell somebody that they need to abandon their true self, just so they could date somebody. Rey begins to get angry. The tension is only growing between the two. I thought you said that we'll do this no matter what. So what's the matter? Have you realized that maybe you weren't ready for this? Alfur snaps back, trying to be logical and is seemingly no longer on the table. Only pure, unfiltered emotions. Maybe you're right. Maybe I wasn't ready for this. Maybe I should have never told you how I felt. Then we would have never wasted our time by going to the archives, which turned out to be pointless anyways. Rey responds furiously, his true thoughts and feelings clouded by anger. Maybe it would have been better if we never met. Alfur gasps at his reply. Only silence follows. Rey's words cut Alfur like a knife. Was what Rey said true? Did he really mean that? Rey realizes that he crossed the line, trying to clear up his thoughts. He realizes that what he had just said and how much he instantly regrets it. The two stand in silence for what feels like an eternity, as the sun's final rays of light touch their skin. All that can be heard at the moment is the rustling leaves and the small winds flying by them. Pixar-esque argument. Yeah, I got that advice too. Rey tries to mutter before Alfur cuts him off in a flat tone. We aren't making it back to the city in the middle of a night like this. We should find some shelter. Rey feels hurt by his lack of care for what he was about to say, but he also feels like he deserves it. He slightly nods in agreement, beginning to look around and walk in the direction of a possible campsite. With Alfred still sitting on his shoulder, stuffing paperwork into his tiny satchel, in only a couple minutes they discover a seemingly empty campsite with all the required equipment there. Rocks in a formation of a campfire circle and scattered sticks and logs nearby the actual fire. Oh my god. Alfur hops off Rey's shoulder, trying to prepare the fire by carrying the sticks, bigger than his entire body. To the rocks, Rey notices how he is struggling to lift some of the bigger pieces of wood, but ultimately decides to leave him be. Not wanting to annoy him further, as all the wood is in place, Rey starts a small fire. Tiny as to not bring any attention, but still nice enough to keep them warm. It's been at least an hour or two since Rey had said anything. had said what he said. In that time, the most conversation they had was a couple grunts and such. Sitting by the small fire, Rey and Alfur wanted to ignore each other. At least Alfur did. What he did deeply hurt him. His words were over the line, but maybe he had a justified reason. Oh my god. Rey has been contemplating what to say for the past 2 hours. Scared that anything he'll say will only hurt Aldrich more. While fidgeting with a nearby pebble, he continues idea. Could it be possible? Look, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said that. I didn't mean it. Ray finally breaks the silence, trying to explain himself and apologize before Albert cuts him off again. I get it. This has all happened so fast, and I should have told you about my idea with the magic. I knew how much we both wanted this, and I guess that meant that you were willing to do anything for this. But I was wrong and selfish. But what you said hurt me deeply, and Ray finally has a chance to cut him off instead. Alfur, I am willing to do anything for us, but this is just a lot in such a small amount of time. I'm truly sorry for what I said. I wasn't thinking and let my anger get the best of me. Look, Alfur, Ray hesitates to continue, knowing that what he says next will either make or break the relationship. But he doesn't care. He wants to show how much he truly cares about Aldrich, just to admit it, and just admits it. Alfur, I've known you for such a long time now. I could barely remember what life was like without you. I want to give you everything you deserve because I love you. He admits in a quiet and soothing tone, scared of how Alfur may react. With no hesitation, Aldrich replies, I love you too, Ray. It's a fuzzy and warm feeling, not as exciting or shocking as they were expecting, but rather nice and comforting. They both already knew that their love for each other was real. Now they were brave enough to confess it to one another. They knew that there was nothing that could keep them from being together. You don't know how long I've been meaning to tell you this, Alfur says, making a nod to what Ray had said only a couple hours ago. But with the date they had just had, it felt like forever ago. I don't know what's next for us, but no matter what, I want you to be part of my future. As time passed by, they just sat there, listening to the crackles of the fire and feeling comfort of one another. But they both started to get tired. Alfur eventually lay down into Ray's hands as he slowly fell asleep, Ray soon following, and they slept, Ray lying on the fresh spring grass as Alfur was tucked into his palm, Ray holding him close to his chest to keep him warm and protected. Maybe Alfur's proposal wasn't really as bad as Ray had first thought. It couldn't hurt to at least see what was possible. So as Ray started drifting off to sleep, he made a promise to find out if Alfur's idea was actually feasible. They could manage through what had happened through today and become even closer in the process. There was absolutely nothing in the way of their love. At least that's what he hoped. Is it bad to say that is it bad to say that I'm actually kind of liking this? I mean, it's so cringe, but I mean, especially this chapter. All I'm saying is that it has, I mean, I mean, I'm not saying it's great. It's just, it's not nearly as bad as I was expecting it to be. At least from what I've been reading it so far. I'm kind of liking it. I mean, it's so bad. But I don't know. Okay. You know what? Okay. Yeah, I just don't know what to think at this point. This is so weird. I think we only have like one chapter left though, so we'll just go ahead and read that. Chapter 5, Love Like Ours. As the sun rises, the cold morning wind flies past Ray and Alfur, who are already back on their feet and heading back to Cholberg. Can you guys stop spamming Ray Shaker in my fucking chat? It's not funny. I'm gonna fucking ban that term. I swear to God, I'm gonna ban anyone who says Ray Shaker. That's it, I'm banning you, Sword. Goodbye. I'm putting you on a 30-minute timeout. Oh my God. Love Like Ours. His this is not Love Lies Bleeding. No. Okay. I just timed out Sword. BMO, I'm not timing you out. Because you're the only one who gets to see it. Oh my God, dude. This is so stupid. Okay. Alright. The clashing warmth of the and colds of the spring morning bring a sense of calmness over the duo. A flowing river that can be heard nearby only adds to the ambience. Ray hasn't told Alfur about his consideration yet, unsure if it's wise to get his hopes up in case it doesn't pan out. Of course, Ray would love it if they could be together, but something like this is a serious decision. Would Ray be willing to give up everything in his life for Aldrich? For better or worse, he's not sure. It doesn't take nearly as long to reach the city walls as it would. Maybe it's the fresh morning energy or the feeling of love and support from one another. As they enter Trollberg, they decide to get something to eat. After all, they haven't had anything in almost 24 hours. The two stop at the local cafe, sharing a cup of coffee and a sandwich. With Alfur taking tiny bites that are barely noticeable. Oh my God. The warm, inviting feel of the cafe makes Ray even more confident. Maybe there really is no reason to waste time. He decides to tell Alfur about his plan. Alfur, look, I've been considering about your proposal. For the whole non-human thing. I don't know if it's completely 100% on board just yet. But I think we could at least check it out, you know? Ray tells Alfur as he finishes his fresh coffee. That would be one... that would be wonderful. I know it's strange, but it's our only option, and it really couldn't hurt to at least see what it's like. Alfur responds calmly, still feeling slightly uneasy about his idea and what it would mean for Ray. The two's consensual agreement only fuels their relationship. Leaving the cafe, they decide to immediately go to the one place they know magic exists, the library. The ancient building is just around the corner of their breakfast spot, meaning it doesn't take long for them to get inside and find the person they're looking for. Kaiser! The two shout as they find one of the library's most mysterious librarians, who is the only witch they actually know. We're so glad we found you. We need your help. What's this now? Asked Kaiser, in her thick Swedish accent, confused as to why they would need her help so urgently. The two began to explain everything that happened in the past 24 hours. From the confessions to the archives, the argument, and Alfred's proposal. It's a lot to take in all at once. But the librarian adjusts pretty quickly. So, a transformation spell into an elf, that should be pretty easy even for me, says Kaiser, confirming Aldrich's plan is in fact feasible. But it's permanent. Once you're transformed, there's no going back. You stay as an elf. Permanently. Kaiser's words make Ray nervous. Agreeing to this would be a huge step. Was he really ready for this? Before he could even consider, another familiar voice shouts from the distance. Hold it, says the familiar voice. catch quickly catching up to the three. Adeline, what are you doing here? Asked Alfur in a surprised yet confusing tone. I'm sorry, but you cannot go through with this, Adeline shouts with a shaky breath and angry tone. Oh my god. Rey and Alfur get even more confused, with Kaisa not really caring. What do you mean? Alfur finally asks. I am a law-abiding citizen, and it would be treason if I was to sit around and let you two begin a relationship with no official form. Magic or not, Rey is still biologically a human. Adeline, you're not making any sense. Magic is never mentioned in any of the paperwork. I've checked. We could still be together if he's not human. Alfur tries to explain to Adeline. Are you sure that Rey would be willing to do that? From what I've heard, he's not ready for such a commitment. He might never be. Adeline responds, trying to convince Alfur that he's making a mistake. What? Alfur replies in a worried tone. How could Adeline know that? I've been listening to you. I've heard all the things you've talked about ever since you visited the archives for your stupid agreement. Neither of you are ready for this, and you know it. The only reason you're trying to make this work is because you believe it's your only option, your only chance. Adeline begins to monologue, revealing the truth. I'm here. Be with me instead. Together, we wouldn't have to worry about contracts or magic or any other nonsense. Remember what it was like to co-author that report? How wonderful it was? What if it doesn't work out between you two, huh? Rey is forever cursed to be an elf who abandoned his humanity for nothing. You have to live with the guilt of that. Adeline continues, revealing the ugly, jealous side of herself. Wait. Did you destroy that document? For elves and humans? Alfred can't believe what he's hearing. Neither can Rey, who has been standing there speechless the entire time. I only did that to save you guys the trouble. You might not want to admit it, but deep down you know that neither of you are 100% ready for this. But no one will be there to support you. How many people do you know who would actually support a relationship like yours? You'd be an outcast. I'm doing you a favor. Adeline continues, believing what she's doing is the right thing. Adeline, how could you? We don't care what others may think. This is true love whether you like it or not. There's nothing you can do from stopping us, Alfur responds, furious at Adeline's betrayal. A friend he believed he could trust with his life, backstabbing him like this? What happened? What you have is true love? Oh, please, don't make me laugh. That fight you both had last night didn't seem like true love to me. I'm not the bad guy here. I'm just trying to help you. Adeline continues in an almost mocking tone. Yes! You might not realize it, but love is complicated. Rey and I have had problems in the past, but they've never been impossible to resolve. In the end, we always end up closer and better as people. I love Rey with my life, and I would do anything to protect him and us. He is the reason I am here right now, a Trollberg representative and a known author. He is the reason I wake up in the morning ready for another day of fun, adventures, and shenanigans. He's not perfect, but to me, he's everything I could ever want. I love him. Jesus. Alfred lets out all of his emotions, showing not only Adeline but also Rey and Kaisa how he truly feels. It's hard, but worth it. As Alfred confesses his true feelings, Rey can only listen as he feels his heart about to burst from love and comfort. The elf's words hit Rey like a million hugs and kisses. If that's how much Alfred really cares about Rey, he knows what he must do. As Alfred continues to talk to Adeline, Rey whispers to Kaisa, "Do it. Transform me into an elf." "Are you sure? You know what that means, right?" Kaisa asks just in case, not having paid attention to what's currently going on, like it's some sort of regular occurrence to her or something. Rey nods, so Kaisa steps back, beginning the transformation. Oh my god. Oh my god. Humano regurito Russus Andriadalum. What? Kaiser shouts as Rey feels his body beginning to change, his limbs shortening, his skin turning paler, and his brain getting even smaller. It's happening. It's really happening. Kaiser's shouting alerts the arguing elves. Alfur turns around as they both witness Rey's transformation. Neither of them can believe their eyes. They can't believe that he was actually willing to make such a commitment. Alfred can barely process what he's witnessing. Turns out the spell was a bit more difficult, and then Kaiser had first thought. Papers and nearby potted plants ruffling and flying around the nearby area of this powerful spell. Jesus. The purple bolt of light from Kaiser's wand shooting straight into Rey crackles and emits cold air that could pierce through your heart. The witch struggles to finish the spell as it becomes more demanding. Alfred takes notice of her troubling expression and jittering hands, barely able to keep up with the wand in the air. The small elf gives her words of encouragement, how she is strong and can do this. The cliche words actually work somehow, probably because the author can't even be bothered to write anymore. I mean, Mark. At least you're honest, Mark. I'm having a hard time trying to continue reading this too. This is so bad. Ugh. Kaiser pulls through. She finishes the spell. The previously mentioned violet beam has turned into a bright and blinding white light. It's impossible to see Rey as the light basically consumes him. No one's sure if he's an elf. If he's now an elf, still human or whatever else. But before anyone can even begin to worry or celebrate, the light vanishes and a reborn Rey emerges. Alfur takes a step closer as his brain finally processes what he's truly seeing. Rey opens his eyes as he tries to adjust to being hit by Kaiser's spell. The world seems so much bigger now through his eyes, and everything is so much louder. And Alfur, he looks even more beautiful. As he wanted, Rey has been born. Now as a small elf, still with his black hair and his iconic gray shirt, and a brand new small elf body with sensitive and pointy ears, sticks for limbs and pale white skin. Sorry, dude, I don't know you. I'm so nervous. Why? Dude, okay. The only thing he focuses on his attention on is Alfur, the love of his life. Alfur, Rey tries to speak before Alfur interrupts him. Rey, you're so beautiful. The two of them could talk for hours, if not days or even years. There's so much they could do now, so much to see, to experience. At the moment, the most logical thing would be to sign the paperwork. But who cares about the logical thing? This is their moment. Oh my god. As Rey and Alfur finally see each other face to face in Rey's new form, they don't follow their mind but their heart. They get oh no. Oh no. Is this where it starts? Is this where the mature part comes in? Oh god. Oh god, okay. I don't know if I can read this. They get close, real close. Both of them could feel the other's warm breath as they close their eyes and lean in for a kiss. A hot, passionate kiss, with Rey putting his arms around Alfred to bring him even closer to his chest, almost squeezing him. The ultimate act of love, showing and sharing how much they care, comfort, and adore each other. Their love for one another is so strong, so pure and beautiful that even Adeline can't believe what's happening. It feels like they could be like this forever, in a never-ending act of passion and care. But it's not before they finish letting go of one another, they both share a simple "I love you" before Alfred directs his attentions towards Adeline. The now shocked Elf is brought to tears as Alfred approaches her. "I'm so sorry. Your love is so pure. Adeline can barely let out a sentence, muttering as she sobs. "I thought that maybe you loved me back, and that this thing with Ray wasn't meant to be, but I was wrong." Jesus Christ. "It's okay. You're better than this. I know you are. I'm sorry if I ever let you on. You were blinded by love, trust me. I've been there. But I'm not the one for you." Alfred begins to console the sobbing elf. "You'll find true love soon enough. Maybe there's somewhere out there. But don't go looking for them right away. The author probably can't stand to write another fanfiction for at least 20 years. Oh my god. Alfred continues, making Adeline feel a lot better, and a bit confused about the last remark. As Adeline picks herself back up, Alfred remembers the agreement, quickly pulling it out. Ray and Alfred sign it. As Aldrich finishes the signature, it feels like a heavy load is off both their shoulders. They are finally together, and as they look into each other's eyes once again, they start making out. And they get all over each other, and then they what? And then I'm not writing this. And they lived happily ever after. The end. Wow. Oh my god. Okay. So, honestly, it wasn't nearly as horrible as I was expecting it to be, but oh my god, is this thing bad? Oh my god. Okay. Oh yeah, there's one more part. What is this? What is this? Psych! You really thought I had the patience to write another sentence related to this thing? I'm not lying when I say that writing this thing has been the most mentally draining and depressing experience I've ever had. I genuinely gave up hope during chapter 5 if it wasn't obvious. But I didn't use any sort of AI. All this came from my heart or whatever that black sludge inside me is. So a deal is a deal. Dear Mr. Ray, sir, you may never simp for Alfred Aldrich again as of May 18th. This is binding and I have witnesses. If you decide to break this agreement, I will take you to court. I have a lawyer. In all seriousness, writing this thing was actually kind of fun. I haven't written anything since I was 8, so of course it was gonna suck. But it was interesting to tip my toes back into this kind of stuff. Also, this thing becomes my legacy. Ending myself in Fortnite. In Minecraft, I mean. Yeah. Thank you, Marcus, for letting me read this. This was very, very fucking cursed. It wasn't as bad as I was expecting it to be, honestly. It wasn't the worst thing ever. It was just very, weird. That's all I'm gonna say. It just makes me not really want to like Alfur anymore. If that's what you want, if that's what you want at the end of the day, then yeah, I'm happy. Okay. Yeah, that's one thing. So, yeah, thanks guys for sticking around.